Yes, sir. What's the deal, everybody? It's your boy, I'm Mac, welcoming you to the Leisure Time Podcast Sports Talk, where we discuss some of the hottest sports topics going on in the world. Before or after you watch this video, please subscribe to the Leisure Time Podcast LLC YouTube page so you won't miss none of our content. Also, to those can't get to YouTube, please go download our audio versions or listen to our audio versions on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. Thanks.
What's the deal, everybody, and welcome to another episode of X's and O's, powered by KookFan.com. As always, subscribe to KookFan.com, and always, too, subscribe to the Leisure Time Podcast. Man, crucial loss for our WSU Cougs that we took on the Oregon State Beavers in Corvallis. We lost 24-10, and kind of like a beat-up, physical kind of game, right? Oregon State came out very physical, wanting to set the tone, and they did that from the very first kickoff return. We came out kind of flat overall, which is kind of shocking for a Jake Dicker team, right? Since Jake Dicker been the head coach at Washington State, dating back to last year in his interim status, right? The guys always came out with some fire, come out with some intensity. So it was rare to see how flat we were, especially offensively, right? Just overall offensively, we looked rattled a lot. We didn't look confident. A lot of receivers dropping passes, a lot of misreads from Cam. I felt like we abandoned the running game a little bit too fast for the score being what it was, right? Me personally, like I say, I love getting Dollar in there. I love getting Billy in there. I love getting, Jenkins back there and running the ball. But of course, Nakia is hurt, and that takes a big impact away from our offense. And also having Renard Bell gone didn't help at all either, guys. I felt Cam was pressing a lot. He pressed a lot, meaning that when stuff doesn't go as timely and as planned, right, you start pressing, you start taking shots down the field, you start making throws that you shouldn't make it, right? He was 24, he was only just 25 or 54, right? That's under 50%, right? That is never good in an air raid offense when it's all about efficiency, right? So he pressed a little bit, right? And I understand why he pressed, right? Right now, the receiving core as a whole, the tight ends, the running backs as a whole, and the receiving game, I feel is not as in sync with Cam per se like a Robert Farrell. You can tell that him and Robert Farrell, the UIW connection, they've been playing with each other for some years. So Cam always feel more comfortable and always more confident throwing it to Farrell. Whereas when he's throwing it to Ali, he's throwing it to Scribb, he's throwing it to some other receivers, right? Yeah, we get completions. Yeah, we're getting yards, but you can tell that the chemistry is not there. That's why we're not getting the vertical plays from a lot of other positions. I would be remiss not to talk about the O-line. I've been mentioning it. I love calling him Cam Kyrie Ward. I love his magic in the pocket. But guys, in this air raid system, you do not want that. The air raid is about time, spacing, and getting the ball to your playmakers, right? So when Cam has to do a lot of that running around, and when he has to do all these things that kind of keep off-schedule plays. I like off-schedule plays, right? But in the air raid, you don't want that too much. And with Oregon State having 6 sacks against us, okay, it's not good. It's not acceptable. We got to get better up front on the O-line specifically, right? When our O-line can match the intensity as our D-line, or the O-line can match the intensity as other O-lines in this league, you will see this offense flourish in ways that you have not seen it flourish yet, okay? But overall, I really like to play Robert Farrell. I felt like he was competing out there, had 5 catches, 130 yards, about 3 returns for 35 yards. So that's my offensive player of the game. I love his grit. And I love how his teammates kind of look at him to be that fire starter, right? You can tell every time he make a play, you see all the guys jumping around on him, right? He goes to the sideline, coaches dapping him up. Just for his short time to already emerge as one of the leaders of this team is truly awesome and amazing to see. So shout out to my El Camino brother. All right. Defensively, we played well. Defensively, we really played well, but we allowed Oregon State to stay on the field too long, right? When you get these third down opportunities, guys, you got to get off the field. You got to get off the field. When they're able to convert on third down, when they're able to run the ball like they ran the ball, they have 45 carries for over 200 yards, right? Yeah, that doesn't seem like a lot of yards for that amount of carries, but it is what it does, guys. It eats the clock. It gives them more time of possession. And what that does is keep our offense on the sideline getting colder and colder. So when they get on the field, they're not even warm. They don't have no sync, right? And that's why you have the performance that we had. finally was excited to see Ron Stone Jr. making some big plays, right? He had 8 total tackles, a sack, right? He was disruptive. I love the little NASCAR package that Ward and Dicker put out there with the 4 DNs out there. I had Andrew Edson, Brennan Jackson, had Ron Stone, and had number 50 over there as well. And I love that package, right? It reminded me of the 2007 New York Giants when they had like 4 DNs out there getting after Brady's, right? So I like the fact that we're trying new things, we're experimenting, and we got to isolate Ron Stone. So he got a nice little sack at the 3 technique, doing a little fake out, little club swim on the guard, and I felt like that was an explosive play for him. So shout out to that guy right there. Like I said, I think that we're truly competing defensively. We have one of the better defenses, but we gotta just gotta get off the field. Got to get off the field when it's time to get off the field, guys. As far as a whole now, guys, I think that this bye week is much needed, right? We don't have a game this next weekend, and I think we need that, guys. We need to all kind of set back, readjust, and kind of think about what we want as a whole this season, right? And what we can do to just kind of do, and what we can do to genuinely get better and get more timing on the offensive side, be able to get off the field on third down situations, right? To be a better team. Because we're right there, man. Barely losing, don't let the score fool you. We barely lost to USC. Barely losing to Oregon, right? Oregon State, yeah, this is 24-10, but it was only 24-10. It should have been 40-10 how we played, right? So we're right there. We're really right there between the high end to the middle. We're right in between the middle to the high end of the Pac-12. And I feel with more reps and more consistency, we'll be at that top notch, okay? So I'm only going to break down 2 plays, one offensively, one defensively. Of course, I'm going to start with the offensive side of the ball. It's the Leisure Time Podcast, X's and O's, baby. Let's get it. All right, it's time for the offensive play of the game. All right, so obviously we're in our 11 personnel, right, guys? We got our running back and our tight end right here. It was Andre Dollar at the tight end position, right? We had Ali out there. We had Farrell out there. And, of course, we had Strib right here, right? And Oregon State is kind of in their 4-3 look, or really a 4-2-5 because, of course, they got that nickel back right there, okay? So what we do on the snap of the play, they're kind of showing the quarters coverage, right? What we do before the snap of the play, we motion Dollar right here. When we motion him, this nickel motioned as well. Okay, so now the nickel is on this side, all right, guys? And these linebackers kind of bump and adjust, all right, guys? So when we motion Dollar right here, obviously we're giving that run illusion that I love so much. That's why I love the power of the tight end, right? I honestly don't like when we go into our 4 receiver sets right now because most of our explosives come when the tight end is in the game, right? We need to be able to commit more with the tight end in the game, with the run game, and I think that it will truly open up our pass game even more. So when Dollar motions over here, he gets set right here, guys, right? The nickel comes, right? So what we do is, guys, we do a flood concept to the boundary, okay, guys? We have this X receiver doing a streak, right? We have Farrell he do get kind of readjusted right here, or can I say rerouted? There you go, rerouted right here on his way, but then he bites in and does like about a 10-yard out. And we have our running back on the snap, flood to the flats, okay? So now, and we have our tight end right here blocked, right? So now we get that flood look, right, guy? You got a streak, you got like a 10 to 15-yard out, and you got the flat route right here, right? So what we do on the snap is we kind of fake it. Cam drops, right? This nickel now reroutes Farrell, right? So he forces Farrell to go inside, but Farrell does a good job getting this safety to bite in before coming out, which was an awesome route if you can see it, right? And that's of course, as this nickel rerouted, he see this running back go to the flat, so he expand, right? So, and then Cam throws an absolute dart right here, 10 to 15 yards to Farrell, right? And that's why I'm saying that him and Farrell connection is special, right? Easily, sometimes a quarterback, he see a guy get rerouted, right? He goes on to the next read, but Cam has the wherewithal and the patience to look at his guy, okay? When Farrell goes in and does this route, guy, the nickel does a good job of getting rerouted, right? But he doesn't fall. He doesn't get it completely rerouted. What he does is he just turns it in to kind of like a stick and an out, right? Kind of like a okie dokie, right? Meaning that he's going to fake the seam, like he's going to the seam, right? Boom, boom, bam, and he pivots out, right, guys? I think it was a huge play, huge connection, and this is what I like about our offense. Let's stay in 11 personnel more, right? Let's use these tight ends. Let's use these running backs. Let's run the ball. Let's be physical. Let's be committed, right, guys? And we'll win a lot more games. Now let's get to the defensive play. Let's get it. Now it's time for the defense play of the game. And I'm so excited to talk about this game because obviously WSU is in this NASCAR package, right? So a NASCAR package usually is you take out the big 2 D tackles, right? You take out your nose, you take out your tackle, and you add 2 more DNs in there, right? So basically now you got 4 DNs in the game, full speed, full throttle, and I love packages like that, right? Because now it's about getting to that quarterback, getting to the money, okay? So obviously we're now in our NASCAR package, right? So we have DN right here. This DN was Brendan Jackson. This DN was Andrew Edson. This DN was Ron Stone. And this DN was number 50. Sorry, number 50. I didn't Google your name. Sorry. But that was number 50 right there. We had Deion Henley right there. We had my boy Brown right here at the mic. Obviously, you had 2-5 at the safety. You had 0 at the other safety. Nickel and Money Marshall, 2-corner Smith Way, and my boy Lanford right there. Okay, guys. So what we do on this backside, we lock up 5, right? We lock up 5 with their number 0. Their Z receiver right there, we lock up, so he kind of comes out the game, right? So what this illusion gives us is obviously pressure, right? Oregon State is in their 20 personnel. What is 20 personnel? 20 personnel just means 2 backs, no tight ends, okay, guys? So they're in their 20 personnel, right? So in this 20 personnel, okay, guys, obviously when we're showing this, we're showing pressure, right? So obviously Oregon State think we're blitzing, right? But on the snap, we end up playing some zone, okay? We man up on this side, but we zone everywhere else. And as we're doing that zone, we run stunts, okay? So on the snap, on the snap, what had happened was, guys, as this nigga comes to release to do his seam, right, Marsh get a reroute and get some depth. Our free safety right here gets deep thirds, right, with our corner kind of playing this flat right here. Our will linebacker kind of fakes like going in this A gap and shoots to his hook. This Mike Backer does the same, shoots to his hook right here with this corner right here playing like a deep quarters kind of look. But like I said, with our nickel rerouting, playing these flats right here, guys. So as Oregon State goes on their routes, guys, right? They go on their routes, right? They're looking for this dude all the way through. He goes to inside release, tries to do kind of like a post, right? And we have our safety playing ball hawk of a safety, made a great play, kind of getting over there, right? Getting over the top over there, guys, and getting the interception. And I absolutely love this play because I love the stunt. This is where you see the pass rush complement the secondary, okay? So what we do right here is kind of like a wide tech stunt. We have Andrew Essen eating up this B gap, and then we have Brennan kind of taking a step and wrapping around. We have Ron Stone right here kind of faking to this A gap, and then crossing face on this center to this A gap with this end just kind of doing a wide 9 rush, right? So what we do is Essen does a good job pressing the B gap, and as this tackle gets open, right, he kind of picks this tackle for this end right here. So as Brennan loops around, right, this tackle is now getting picked, right? When this guard comes off, now Essen is absolutely free. And what he does is he smacks the quarterback, guys. He absolutely smacks the quarterback. And as the quarterback's turn to throw, he gets hit. We have our safety right here reading the quarterback's eyes, being able to get that field of vision, getting that interception. My boy number 0, Sam Lockett from Spokane, and made a good return after that, all right, guys? But this is what I love, right? I love that we're being creative. I love that we're not just going to go out there and play quarters coverage or cover 3, right? We're switching it up. Having this NASCAR package is going to be great, especially as we move on to the season, playing some of the teams that love to pass in our league, right? Especially teams down the road like UW with good quarterbacks, right? Stanford got a pretty good one, right? Every quarterback in our conference is pretty good, right? So having this NASCAR package, having the illusion of 4 DNs going to rush and running stunts, right, and running games is going to be awesome for us. Overall, guys, you know, I never like to lose, right? And this loss felt different than the SC one. This loss felt different from the Oregon one, right? Because obviously you go into this game, we beat them 8 straight years. We think we're going to win, right? But every now and then you need a little ass whooping like this. Every now and then you need to get out physical like this. And now what we can do in this bye week is readjust and just become overall better as a football team, right? Do you have it, right? The X's and O's episode, Oregon State. Please subscribe to the Leisure Time Podcast as always. Peace.